Hey, how's everyone doing? Good? That's good. Good to hear. Like to hear. So, many of us have different family backgrounds, and they're all fascinating to learn about, and from all across the country. But today we're going to talk about mine. My family ancestry came from Poland. There are a lot of fascinating things they do. So, one thing that I have always loved is pierogies. These are amazing sides for dinner, and they are from the Polish. They're filled dumplings. They are large dumplings. They are filled mostly with potatoes, cheese, onions, but they can also have meat or fruit inside of them. They're just amazing. If you haven't had one, go get one. They're like that big. The good ones are anyways, like that big around. One fun thing that the Polish do is celebrate a weird holiday called Dingus Day. I know that doesn't even sound like a real thing, does it? But this holiday is just celebrated the Monday after Easter. This is a day where the Poles go around and wet each other with big buckets of water. But, my bad. It's mainly all younger Poles, not the older. The older kind of stay out of it because it's supposed to be a romantic kind of thing. But it was originated because they want to celebrate baptism because they're big into religion. It was created in 966 AD. This fun fact was brought from holidaysinsights.com. Now, let's talk about how the Poles celebrate Christmas Eve. Well, in Poland, actually, it's not called Christmas Eve. It's called Wigilia. On this day, they have the biggest dinner, unlike how we have our biggest dinner on Christmas Day. Also, unlike us, they don't have red meat, how we normally have a ham or something for dinner. They're only allowed to have fish, and they mainly eat carp and herrings because they can't have red meat because it's the end of Lent. Another holiday heavily celebrated in Poland is called All Saints' Day. This day is celebrated on November 1st, which celebrates the dead people that people have lost, and people visit the graves of them, leaving candles and flowers for them. In the evening, graveyards in Poland are lit up with candles, and I've heard it looks really, really beautiful. We all like sports, right? So many like them more than others, but everyone likes them. Like how here in America, the favorite sport is supposedly baseball. Poland also has a favorite sport, and that is soccer. What they call football, but it's soccer. One thing that I found really interesting is the Poles had a play in the making of American baseball because when the immigrants came from Poland in the 1700s, they played a ball and bat game named Palant. And over time, that got adapted and turned into baseball that everybody loves today. One thing that a lot of you will find really weird, like I did, was the last name thing in Poland. So here in the United States, if my dad's last name was Perushki, my last name would be Perushki, and my sister's, if I had one, last name would be Perushki. But over in Poland, if my dad's last name was Perushki, my last name would be Perushki. But if I had a sister, my sister's last name would be Perushka. Weird, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. But another thing, now here in the United States, when we go out just to do something fun with the family, we go out to a restaurant or go play some mini golf, go to the movies, do something fun. Over in Poland, one of the big things that they do to spend time with the family is they go mushroom picking. At a very young age, Poles teach their kids the difference between edible mushrooms and poisonous mushrooms. And last but not least, for all of you lovebirds out there, don't worry. If you live in if you live in Poland, you wouldn't lose Valentine's Day. Well, you will, but Poland has something kind of like it. It's called Kupala or Wianki. This is the Poles' Valentine's Day. Traditionally, a man would float a wreath with candles on it across a river, And if a woman gets it, then you're in love. But like I said, that's what is traditional. But not every man does it. Thank you guys for listening to my TED Talk.